of a speech. So I tried to prepare comments. I tried to prepare for this. So I'm just going to start by basically talking about what patriarchy is. Patriarchy, comrades, it's a system. That's something that we must learn from that. It's a system in which men hold strength, in which men hold power, and women hold none. That's the basic form of the definition of patriarchy. Women are largely excluded in society, in South Africa, around the world, and that is what we are basically fighting. When it comes to the history and where it comes from, we are Africans, and as us being Africans, the African culture influenced the idea of supremacy, that there should be one that is more superior than the other. That now we blame on our African culture as Africans. And not to only say that it only exists in Africa, but I'll be talking on Africa generally. That's where it comes from, that thing of supremacy. Comrades, patriarchy has become an ideology. It is very sad. It has become an ideology, which means that gender equality is up against a very tough enemy if we are fighting an ideology. Comrades, it needs for us to go deep into where it actually originates from, for us to actually have means of fighting this patriarchy, comrades. The way that patriarchy is so family rooted, it is actually the only non-racial institution. Meaning, you can be black, you can be colored, you can be white, as long as you are female, you will experience patriarchy. Which leaves us women in a very difficult position. As I talked about the African culture and how it's influenced it, when we are seen as fighting patriarchy, we are often seen as killing or destroying the African culture, which is very sad, comrades. It further comes from, because we're in this province of Gauteng, many would relate that long ago, when you are leaving home as a male to come and work, you're coming to work here in Johannesburg, you are leaving your family so that you can provide. You are leaving all the people that you are supposed to be protecting, just so you go and make some form of income. That, comrades, in its form, it's patriarchy. That the female was left at home to actually look after the family, to do all the household work and everything, and the men had to go and find work and to provide. It's very sad, comrades, and we now integrate this patriarchy to industrialization, because it was because of industrialization and urbanization that form of patriarchy actually came surfaced. Comrades, patriarchy and the economy, as I mentioned, that male used to go to more urbanized areas to find work, to provide for their families. So it actually manifests from sexual division of labor. There are certain jobs that are said, which these ones are for males and these ones are for females. Marx, comrades, talks about unpaid reproductive labor. which is that mother of yours that I was mentioning that was left there. No, that is unpaid labor. It's unpaid labor because what she does, the man has gone to go and work in Johannesburg. She is left, she's taking care of the kids, she's washing, she's cooking, she's doing all the household labor that a woman does. And this work, comrade, is unrecognized by the capital. That work, the capital does not recognize it at all. That is work that women are doing. So, comrades, it is so deeply rooted that it went to the economy, to politics, to education. When I talk about the economy, comrades, there are certain sectors that are basically aimed at only employing young women. We make an example of retail, catering, and hospitality. We all know these sectors, especially the new businesses in this sector. They don't pay well. They don't pay well, and they are looking at employing young females. Comrades, this thing is deeper than what we see. And I think the more we realize that and be conscious ourselves about it, the better we can be able to move forward. Patriarchy, comrades, is rooted. Comrades, no. Comrades, there is rape. There's rape that's happening all around the world. And mostly, I won't say all rape cases, most rape cases are against females. This is a form of patriarchy. It's sexual oppression. It's sexual oppression. It denies women the freedom of movement and of safety. They even go to oppress the way that female dresses. No, the way that you are dressing, you are calling this upon yourself, this rape. And us as females, we are being oppressed in this manner, comrades. In other places in the world, comrades, the way that this patriarchy is so deeply rooted, it's not your choice to reproduce. You are even told when and who you will reproduce with. I would like to think in South Africa we are not there. I would like to think, but I stand corrected, comrades. But that is now the issue of sexual oppression. Comrades, I'm just going to read out, as I was reading something about a few weeks ago, I had to go and find it now, before this lecture. I'll just read out some stats in South Africa about rape that really shocked me. I was reading this about 3 to 4 weeks ago. It reads as follows, that rape in South Africa is a crisis of extreme proportions. Rape occurred approximately 16,000 times annually during the 1980s. By 1992, the official figure for rape was 24,700. 55,000 cases of rape were reported in 2004. Between 1 in 9 and 1 in 20 rapes are reported. 1 in 9 and 1 in 20.